So students, topic of today is motion under gravity. So gravity is the gravitational pull of the earth, gravitational force that earth is applied on the objects. So another name of gravitational force is gravity. So when a body is released near the surface of earth, you know that the body is accelerated downwards under the influence of the gravitational force and in the absence of air resistance. So here in these questions we are not counting the air resistance. Okay. So air resistance is equals to 0. So when there is no we are considering the vacuum, so all the bodies, so the important point is that the acceleration is same for all bodies, but there is a condition for that. So what are the conditions so that acceleration of the all bodies are same? What are the condition? What's the condition, students?
Air resistance should be 0.
Yes. So only if the air resistance is 0. And the motion of the body falling towards the earth from a small height, then we call that motion free fall. Free fall of the body. The acceleration with which a body falls is called the acceleration due to gravity, and we call the acceleration due to gravity. So due to gravitational force, this body has some acceleration. So that acceleration has a special name, gravity. So that's also acceleration. We call it a, but we have given a special name to it, that is due to gravitational force. So G. So A equals to G. So we call the acceleration. So instead of writing the acceleration in the formulas like V is equals to U plus AT, so S is equals to UT plus half AT square, and V square minus U square is equals to 2AS. So these formulas will be transformed now to V is equals to U plus GT. So put A is equals to G on all these formulas. And S is equals to UT plus half GT square, and V square minus U square is equals to 2GS. Okay. So this G, what is the value of this G? So this value we take as 9.8 meter per second square. So this values also varies. So we have a chapter, gravitation, last chapter of part 1. So there we studied that this G is only valid near to the surface of Earth. So near to surface of Earth. So a lot of assumptions are there. So near to the surface of Earth, air resistance. So these are the two primary conditions that we are taking. So, and you know that as the body is falling under the acceleration A is equals to G, and obviously there is acceleration, so this velocity will keeps on increasing. Now, so there are two cases. One is we are throwing a body up, throwing a ball up. Throwing upward. And second case is body coming down. So see, it's again motion in a straight line because either you are moving vertically, either upward or downward. So that's again we are studying motion in a straight line. So here the motion is vertical motion. So vertical motion under gravity. So that is why we also replace this S with H. So these are the two changes. So instead of S, we write H also. And as that was displacement, so this can be change in height actually. Actually, you should take it as, because S was the displacement. So what will be the net displacement? So net displacement, you can either write it as H. So H here is the displacement. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we need to take certain assumptions. Like there also, when we were moving on the horizontal line, we have taken this direction as positive direction and this direction as a negative direction. So if the displacement was in this direction, if the body was displaced from this point to this point, means towards the right in the positive direction, so we take the displacement as positive. And if displacement was positive, so as a result velocity was also positive. So the direction of displacement and velocity will be same. And then we had acceleration also. So if acceleration is in this direction, it was considered positive. So positive acceleration. So students, it might be possible that the body is moving in this direction with like 15 meters per second. And the acceleration might be in this direction also. That's retardation. So negative acceleration. So means, because force is equals to, let us clear this concept. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. So force is a vector quantity and acceleration is also a vector quantity. So just like I told you that displacement is equals to velocity into time, or velocity is equals to displacement upon time. So S by T we can write. So displacement, so this is vector quantity this side and this is also vector quantity this side. So students, if the sign are same, it means the direction is same. So here if the force is acting in this direction, so obviously so you are stopping this body. So this body is moving forward, but you are applying the forces in the opposite direction, means that's the negative direction. So what will happen? The body is going to stop. Yes, final velocity will be zero after some time. So this force, like we did a case that this bullet was hit into this wooden block and this bullet stops. After some time its velocity also reduces and it stops. Why? See, velocity was positive because it was moving in this direction, but the force was in opposite direction, so acceleration was negative in that case. So we call that deceleration, negative acceleration. So got this concept, students? So acceleration and force are in same direction. So force is in this direction, so that is why acceleration is also in this direction, but velocity is in this direction. So I hope these concepts are clear. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So acceleration will be in the direction of the means force, right? And here in this case, force also has given a special name. So the force acting on this body, that is MA, it's downward, and that force I have given that as A I have replaced with G, so F I am also replacing with W. So force special name W and AG. So there are three replacements I have done. S I have replaced with H. Force I have replaced with weight. So weight is also a force, special force that the earth is pulling the body towards itself. So gravitational force. So weight is nothing but gravitational force. Okay. and acceleration I have replaced with acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So if the force is in this direction, so the acceleration will be in this direction. So now it's up to you which direction you are taking positive and which direction you are taking negative. So it depends on you. But like in here in horizontal motion, one direction will taking positive and one direction will taking negative. So here also you have to choose. So which direction you are taking positive. If you are moving in upward direction, some of the time it happens that we take upward action as positive and downward as negative. Some of the time, like if the body is only moving down, we take the body, we take the this direction as a positive also. So here in the when the motion was in a horizontal line, so then these directions were fixed. Although we can change the direction, we can take this direction as positive, this direction as negative. That was our choice. But still, most of the time we have taken this right direction as positive and left direction as negative. But here, both the things can be possible. You can take the upward as negative, downward as positive. Means if the motion is only downward, then we take downward as positive. But if there is upward motion, then we take upward as positive and downward as negative. So for whom are these positive negative matters? These positive negative matters for the vector quantities. So that's when we are treating the vectors. Like here we are treating displacement, velocity. So we need to tell the direction. And here acceleration was negative because this direction of the force and this was the direction of the acceleration because F is equal to ma. So both have the same direction. So that is why, and we call that negative acceleration in this direction, so retardation. But now as you are studying in 11th class, so you are supposed to be clear with these basics. Okay, I hope this concept is clear. There are a lot of new things because you are into new class. So to understand the concepts in a better way, you need to have more knowledge. Okay. Got it, students?
Okay, sir.
That's right. So it see, my only request is you have to write these notes 2 times, 3 times. Yes, at least 1 time today. Might be 1 more time whenever you get time. It won't take much time. So 1 today, and within next 3 days write it once more, and within 1 week write it once more. It will take less time and the concepts will be stronger. So writing doesn't mean write each and every word, just writing the key points, just writing the key lines again and means key formula. Okay, students, written it down.
Yes, sir.
Shall we move forward now? Okay, good. Now let us do some questions and then only we will be able to understand what we have studied. Okay, before that, let us do some let us see these formulas again. So normally, as I told you, that when the body is falling freely, we take the direction as positive, we take it as positive g. Okay, so this is case 1, very simple case. Now, and when a body is thrown upwards, I told you that upward body is thrown upward, then we take g as a negative. Okay, this direction as negative direction we take. When there is only direction, we take this direction as positive. Okay, ball dropped, ball thrown upward, we take the upward direction as positive and downward as negative. So this is case 2nd. Okay, students.
Yes, sir.
Now, so when the ball is dropped, you know that u is equals to 0 in this case. Yes. So let us write what happens with these formulas. Means this formulas v is equals to u plus gt and h is equals to ut plus half gt square and v square minus u square is equals to 2gh. So what happened with these formulas? So some shortcuts can be there. So suppose the ball has dropped and it has traveled the height h moving downwards. So then what will be h first form? So this first, second, third. Okay, let us write it in the same order. So students, what will be the velocity? Final velocity will be equals to u is equals to 0. So final velocity is gt. So that's the formula. Now what will be your h? U is equals to 0. So that's only half gt square. Third formula. U is equals to 0. So v square is equals to 2gh. And you can write v is equals to under the root 2gh. So these are the formula, students. Okay. So new formulas, you can say. You can write this formula and then put a is equals to 0. But here, if you directly writing this, it will save you 2 steps. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now what about this case? The ball is thrown upward. So in this case, the ball will stop. So I have thrown this ball upward and it has reaches the height h. So there was initial velocity, but the final velocity will be 0. Okay. So final velocity is 0. Okay. So this is the maximum height that the body has attained. Okay. H is the maximum height and velocity will be 0. Am I right? So what will happen to the first formula, students? V is equals to 0. So 0 is equals to u and g is downward. So we are taking g as negative. So gt. So what will the formula? Yes. U equals to gt.
Okay, sir. Clear.
Second formula. H is equals to, so that's your maximum height. And that will be, so this formula works like you say that I want this ball to be stopped, or I have thrown this ball with this velocity. So after how much time the ball will stop? So this time is the stopping time. After how much time the ball will stop? So that time is simply u by g. So the ball will stop in t time. Maximum after it attaining the maximum height. Got it clear? And what will be the height, students? So height is ut minus half gt square. Okay. And what will be the height from the third formula? So v square is equals to 0. So 0 square minus u square is equals to 2 into minus g. So h is positive. This displacement, because it's in upward direction, so it's positive, right? So students, let's make the things very clear. So g is in the downward direction because the force is downward direction. So it's g is negative. So force is also negative. And the things which are in upward direction, like this v is in upward direction, that's positive v. So height is in upward direction, positive h. U is in upward direction. So these are the vectors, but they are in upward direction, so they are all positive. But as the force is acting downwards, so g is along the force, because F is equals to m into g. So force and g, they are in same direction. So vector equals to vector. M is a scalar quantity. So students, if I have positive sign here, I have positive sign here, it means both are in same direction. So like we did, if the displacement is negative, velocity is also negative. If the displacement is positive, velocity will also be positive. So if the displacement negative, velocity is negative. If the displacement is positive, velocity will be positive. Okay,
Yes, sir.
same is the case here. Okay, so what's the formula we have got? So this negative will cancel out, and u square is equals to 2gh, and you have got the maximum height. Height is equals to u square by 2g. So the ball will stop in this much of time, u by g, and maximum height attained will be, so that's the maximum height attained, u square by 2g. So these are the formulas, that you have derived, and by this you will get the, yes, it will take lesser time. Got the formula, students? So we also call this time of ascent. Okay, we also call this this is not e, so this. So students, let's see what the concept. I've thrown this ball upward, right? Yes, this is the time of ascent. Here from the ground, this ball is thrown by some machine. Okay, I have a machine over here. And this machine push the ball up. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And it reaches the maximum height, and then it comes back. So students, here in this case, the velocity with which it was thrown upward, with the same velocity, it is going to hit back. So the only difference is when I thrown it upward, so you have to take, this is the case 1. So the you have taken positive. So when it is, then the u will be negative. So that will be the only difference. Otherwise, u will be same. And the time it has taken to go upward, same time it will take to come down. So like the time of ascent is t, that is u by g. So same will be the time of descent. Same will be the time of descent. So the time of ascent, so this is the time of ascent is the same as time of descent. Is this clear to everyone? So what is the total time of the flight?
14.
Yes. So total time of the flight is 2. So add t plus t, 2t means that's equals to 2t, and that's equals to 2u by g. I hope it is clear to you, students. Yes.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, now we are in position to do the questions after understanding these concepts. So please write down these formulas. This, especially the screen that is in front of you, is of at most important. At most. Whenever you are doing the questions, the screen that is there in front of you, you should put write this screen material as it is, the formulas, the figures, everything in the same manner, and put it in front of you when you are doing the questions of motion under gravity. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Noted it down?
Sir, your voice is breaking in between.
Okay. So shall we move forward?
Yes, sir.
So let us do the first question. There is a ball which is vertical. So first of all, you have to write the case. Which case is it? Okay. So a ball is thrown vertically upwards with a speed of 19.6 meter per second. But here the point is that it is not thrown from the ground. It is thrown vertically upward, the ball, from a tower. So ball is thrown from a tower. So it doesn't matter where the hand was when it is thrown, because see, it doesn't matter with respect to the height of this building. It doesn't matter actually. We have to find the height. So this is negligible. This. So we assume this the ball is thrown very near to the surface. Okay. Got it? Got this point? So never get confused that ball is thrown upward by the boy, so hand was in the air. What about this? No. Assume that the ball is thrown from here. Okay. Vertically upward with a speed of 19.6 meter per second from the top of the tower, and this ball returns to the ground. So there will be a little bit this curve shape. Okay.
But is this also a parabola?
Yeah, this is also a parabola.
Okay, sir.
So this was the, so you have to find the height, and students, it has reached the total time taken by the ball to reach the earth is 6 seconds. So you have to find the height of the tower. So let us do this question step by step. First thing, what is u? Students, it's not the answer that matters. It is the way how you have solved the question also matters a lot, because then there will be complicated problems. So if you have some strategy to solve the questions, you will be able to solve even the complicated questions also. But if you don't have a strategy, you are just doing this way, that way, I know this way also, I know that way also, then you will be trapped. So you need to have some strategy and follow that strategy. So you have u, like we have discussed that when the body is means that's your case. Which case is it? You had two cases, right? This is the first case, this is the second case. Which case is it?
Second case.
Okay, second case, yes. So actually you can take it as second case, you can take it as third case also, means two cases together, not third case, but you can call this from, like, this is O, this is A. So O to A first case, and then A to G second case. You can call this one also. So that's your choice. So if you are taking this as case 1, and you are taking this as case 2, so that's your choice. You can solve this in one case also. Case 1, according to the case 1, the ball is thrown upward. You can solve it in that way also. Only case 1. Yes, you can solve it only like case 1 also. No issues. Let us see how we'll do it in both the cases. Okay, answer will be same. Good. So students, here the ball was here. So we have taken in this case, upward action as positive and downward as negative. Now tell me, this u is in upward action. So velocity, this is in this positive because it's an upward action from here. So this height, the ball stopped here. Okay. So tell me the displacement in this direction. So if we are taking this case, like here, case 1, so suppose body has reached some height here. So I have taken this height as positive because it is in upward action. So like this direction, if the body, if this is 20 and this is minus 20, so in horizontal line, along the horizontal line, this is positive x-axis in might. So if the body is moved here, so what's the displacement, students? Plus 20. Now the body has moved here and body has come here. What's the displacement? 0. Now the body has gone this side and the body has come this side. What's the displacement? Yes. So always remember these three cases. and apply these three cases over here, and you will have no problems at all. So you don't need two cases then. You will do the problems only in one case, but you have to remember these three cases: 1, 2, and 3. So you will need these three cases here also, students. So according to this is your case 3. So the displacement is negative h. Agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So that's your displacement, minus h. Now you have u is equals to plus 19.6 meter per second. That was in upward direction, and you need to find the h. So you have the formula s is equals to ut plus half gt square. So now, because why I'm taking this so g, of course, if I'm writing here positive, so you will be taking g as minus 9.8 meter per second square. So don't get this thing confused. If you are taking this formula as ut plus minus half gt square, so then you'll be taking g as 9.8 meter per second square. So in both the cases, you are taking g as negative because g is downward. Okay? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
This is what we have taken. We are taking this, we are doing this as case 2. Ball is thrown upward. So in that case, g is negative. Is this clear? So we are solving it like case 2. Ball is thrown upward. Upward case. In downward case, ball is just dropped. In this case, g is positive. Ball is thrown upward, g is negative. Done, students? Understood these formulas? So this formula is for the ball thrown upward. So either take negative here or here, only at one place. Okay. Now let us use any of this, you will get the same result. So s is equals to, displacement is equal to minus h, and u is equals to 19.6 into t. What is the time of what is the time taken to reach this displacement?
6 seconds.
Yes, see, this time is related with displacement. Always remember. Yes. Total time taken for this displacement. So t is the total time taken for this. That is your 6 seconds. Absolutely. Now, so minus 1 by 2 into 9.8 and into t square. That's your 6. So 6 squares. So can you tell me what's the answer?
58.8 meter.
Yes, the answer will be 58.8 meter. You are absolutely correct. So this h you will get it negative. So h is equals to minus 58.8 meters. So that's your displacement. So displacement is negative here.
But don't we get the direction from this formula?
Yes.
Distance. So don't we get the distance from this formula?
Distance. Sorry.
Sir, इस formula को put करके तो 5 times डालनी चाहिए थी.
Sorry. Let us find what's the value of h. So minus h is equals to 19.6 minus multiply 6 is the 36. So it will be 117.6 minus this is cancel it out. with this is 4.9, so 4.9 into 36, that's so 36 into, okay, so 35, 70, and so this comes out to be 176.4, and that comes out to be minus 58.8, right? So that's why H is equals to 58.8. So same is the case here. Initially we were writing H is equals to minus 58.8. So that will be wrong, students, because we have already taken the impact of H here. Suppose the question is, we don't know whether the ball will go up or down. We don't know anything. We only know two things, that the ball is thrown upward with this velocity, and what will be the position of the ball after t is equals to 6 seconds. What will the position of the ball after t is equal to 6 seconds? Then we can do the same question. We don't know whether the H is positive or negative. We can do it this way also. We don't know where the H is. So in that case, automatically your answer will comes out. H is equals to minus 58.8. And then you can tell that the displacement is in negative direction from the origin, from where the body is. So the body is, so what is displacement? Displacement means change in position. And change in position, it's a vector quantity. So change in position, there will be two things, magnitude as well as direction. And direction in a straight line we tell with either positive or negative. So displacement, you will get the answer along with the sign. So here, like you can do this question in this way also, that we don't know where the ball will be. Yes. So same is the case here. If you are taking negative, if you are taking G as negative, then take G as positive here. If you are taking G as positive, then it will be take the negative formula. So same is the case here. If here you are putting minus H here, so students, your answer will be H will be positive, because you have already considered the direction. When you are taking is the displacement as negative H, you have already taken the impact. So then of course your H will be positive 58.8, because you put the value of 58 here, you get minus 58.8. So here also you put this negative, you get minus 1 by 2, 9.8 d square. Put here positive, minus 1 by 2, 9.8 d square. So I hope this concept is clear. So this is the problem that students face. And this is pretty much clear to you. So my suggestion is that instead of taking H negative, you don't know where the H is. So we can take this H. So by this way, we can solve any question. Okay. But if you already know here in this case that H is negative, you can take the H negative also. But when you are taking the H negative, so if you have taken the H negative, then your answer will be H is equals to 58.8. And if you have taken the H positive in the formula, then your answer will be H is equals to minus 58.8. Because ultimately the displacement is equals to, if you are taking it as minus H, so this will be positive. So put this value over here. The displacement will be, so in both the cases, displacement will be minus 58.8. So if I are already taking S is equal to minus H, so obviously the answer will be positive. If you are taking it as positive H, obviously the answer will be negative. So I hope all the doubts are clear. Yes?
Yes, sir, clear.
Now, if you take this case as case 1, the body is thrown upward with a velocity of 19.6 meter per second. So here, what's the maximum height attained? We know the formula. We have already written the formula. What's the maximum height attained? Because v square minus u square is equals to 2gh. And here also, if you are taking this g as positive, put g is equals to minus 9.8 then. Okay? Or take it as negative. So then you get h is equals to u square by 2g. We have already calculated. You can see in your notes, we have already calculated, right? Maximum height attained. That's the maximum height attained, u square by 2g. So write it directly. So that's equals to 19.6 multiply 19.6, sorry, 19.6 whole square. So 19.6 whole square divided by 2 into 9.8. So this is 19.6. So 19.6 will cancel and the height is 19.6 meters. So it has attained the height of 19.6 meters. Now let us take the second case. So the ball is dropped with u is equals to 0 and we have to tell what will be the height. And now the important thing is that the time. So here we have to find the time also, students. What's the time? Time taken. So and then we will again take the time here also. So what's the time taken in the first case? Time t is equals to, so the time of the flight was u by g. We have calculated. So it doesn't take much time. So t is equals to u by g. So that's 19.6 divided by 9.8. So time is 2 seconds in this case. Time to ascent. Now, if the ball only comes up to here, so the time of descent was 2 seconds. So that will be 2 seconds. So total will be 4. Now, but here the ball is coming down even from. So h is equals to, so here we will take g as positive, this case, right? When the ball is dropped. So u is equals to 0 because ball was stopped here. So h is equals to, u is 0, so half gt square, and h is equals to half into 9.8, and so 2 seconds already we have taken. So how many seconds left out of 6? 4 seconds. Yes, students, what's the problem? So 9.8 into this 16, so 8. So 9.8 into, yes, do we have some issues? We are supposed to get the same answer. So S is equal to UT, U is 0 plus half GT square. So GT square, so into 9.8, and in time of the flight will be, so 4. So 4 into 4. So students here, okay. Yes, got it, students? So what is 8 multiply this? So you can multiply 10, multiply it is 80. 80 minus 8 into 0.2, 1.6. So 80 minus 1.6, 78.4 meters. Okay. So calculate it either way. So 8 is 64 and 72 and 6 is 78. So students, that's total is 78.4. So you have to subtract this 19.6 from it to get the height of the tower. So 78.4 meters minus 19.6 meter. So that comes out to be 58.8 meter. Okay. So, but we will be using this method only. Okay. This is just for your conceptual understanding, students. Okay. Okay, so see, more questions we'll do. It will be more and more clear because you have your notes with you. Yes, revising from your notes, I have explained you each and everything, each and every way I've told you. So now you people are smarter. So let us do question number 2. So we will not be trying, there was third way also to do this question. What was the third way to do this question? See, time of the flight, 2 seconds up, and the ball will again come back here with the same speed. So if you want to do this question in the third way also, let us do it in third way also. See, the ball was gone up and then it came down. Okay. So ball gone up and come down. So again, you can do it in one case and you can do it in two cases. So that's again your choice. But the displacement will be 0, right? Starting and ending from the same point. So v square minus u square is equals to 2 gh. So this h is 0. So v square is equals to u square. So the same velocity, 19.6, it is going to hit back with the same velocity. So but this direction is positive. So this direction is negative. So here the initial velocity was this and final velocity will be this. You can see the squares here. So square of minus 19.6 whole square will be the same as square of 19.6 whole square. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So v square is equals to u square. So you have proved it that the body at the same position will come back with the same. And time, means time of the flight. So that will be 2u by g. So u by g we already calculated. So that's 2 and 2 into 2 is 4 seconds. So 4 seconds. Now second case you can take is, now you have you haven't dropped the ball. You have thrown the ball downward with a velocity of 19.6, because now you are throwing the ball downward. So downward case will take g as positive, will take this direction as positive direction, right? So when ball was thrown upward, we are taking this direction as positive upward. So the direction of the motion we take as upward. That is the hint. So what is the hint, students? Direction of motion as positive.
That means I take the direction upward.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
So now you have 2 seconds. 4 seconds has already gone from here to here. So you have 2 seconds now. So what is the distance traveled? So S is equals to ut plus half gt square. So S is equals to, u is your 19.6, time is your 2, plus half into, so 19.6 into 2, plus half into 9.8 into 2 square. So this 1 2 cancels out. So that's 19.6 into 2 and 9, and this is also 19.6. So 19.6 into 3 you can directly. So 18 and 27, 28 and 58.8 meter. So this is your tower. So the tower height of the tower is 58.8 meters. So students, that's your choice. You can do these questions in any way. Okay. Even I can make this case as different, this case as different, this case as, so lot of cases, right? So but you have got your fundamentals correct now, and you will take the displacement way, I think, right? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So note, direction of initial velocity. So take direction of initial velocity as positive. So that's the way out, students. So if the ball is thrown upward, positive u. If the ball is thrown downwards, plus u. And the direction opposite to it, Direction opposite to it will be negative. Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Here.
Now let's do this question. So a ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of, so obviously we will always be taking u as positive. So that's the way out. 20 meter per second from the top of a multi-story building. The height of the point from where the ball is thrown is 25 meters, students. So this time this is given to you 25 meters, okay? From the ground. So how high the ball will rise? This is the first thing that you need to tell. What's this maximum height? How long will it be before the ball hits the ground? So time of the flight. You have to tell. So maximum height you have to tell. Maximum height attained. And third thing is you have to trace the trajectory of the ball. So like you are telling, sir, will it be parabola or what it is? So that's why I'm asking you. Trajectory of the ball. See, I am just drawing this figure to help you in understanding. Like here also, how I was drawing the figure. The ball, the car moved in that direction. Now I told you that car moved back. So I was making different lines. Yes, like in this question. So why I was making these different lines? Just to help you understand. But what is the topic that we are studying? Motion in a straight line. So why you people are confusing? So that's the straight line. We can only move on this line. Here also it's a straight line. Vertical motion only on the straight line. This is just for your understanding. So no, we are not studying any parabolas here. That will study motion in a plane. Next chapter. Got my point?
Yes, sir. Got it.
So when we will have two coordinates, x and y, very important question you have asked. When I have two coordinates, means this is a plane, this is the plane of the blackboard, this is the plane of the screen, and the body gone this way. I have thrown it with velocity v. So so I have both the coordinates, x coordinate as well as y coordinate. But are you taking x coordinate anywhere here? You're only taking y coordinate, that's your height. So only y coordinate you are taking. Whereas when you were studying here, only x coordinate you were taking, not y coordinate. So you are taking only one coordinate, x coordinate, and here you are taking only y coordinate in the vertical motion. But when you study parabola, you will be taking into consideration this is x-axis, this is y-axis. So now this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, then your motion, this is your horizontal motion. So y remains the same. Y remains the same means y can be 0 also if you are moving on the ground. If your ball is moving on the table, then this will be the graph. And here in vertical motion, x remains the same. So like you have thrown the body from the top of the tower. So x coordinates, whatever with the x coordinate, if you are taking the tower, that origin, so x remains the same throughout the. So we are taking only the y coordinate is changing here. X coordinate doesn't change. So here also only the y coordinate is changed in vertical motion. In horizontal motion only x coordinate is changed. But in parabola, that is motion in a plane. Next chapter that we'll be studying. So when we'll be studying motion in a plane, then we will in the plane. So what is the difference between line and plane? Many lines together form a plane, right? So like you have plane figures, rectangles, squares. So they have both the length as well as breadth. So x and y coordinates both are there. That is 2D. You have studied 2D. You have studied 2D geometry. Yes. And then we have motion in a space. Space means in the room the body is. So when you are studying motion in a plane means the body is moving on the wall. That is the meaning of. So anywhere it is moving on the wall, that is motion in the plane. But when the body was moving only in one line, so you have how many lines in your room? 12 lines, right? 4 at the bottom, 4 at the top, and 4 vertical lines. So you have total 12 lines. So move along any of those lines only. That is the motion in motion along a straight line. But if you are moving on the wall, that is motion in the plane. And if you are moving anywhere in the room, means like in the air you are moving now. You are moving in the air now. So when you are moving in the air, that is the motion in the space. So I hope this concept is clear to you, students. Okay. I know that there are a lot of queries and we need to resolve them. That's good. I like questions, students. Yes, unless and until you ask questions, you know, a teacher is also teaching will be at the level best when students ask questions. Okay, thank you. So let us do this question. So I hope you have written this question. The ball was thrown upward with a velocity of 20 meters per second, right? So that just for your help I have drawn this figure, right? But it's not parabola, it's vertical line motion. So the thing is that in this question he has asked you the time of the flight, that you know that t is equals to 2u by g, and the ball is thrown upward with a velocity of 20 meters per second. The height is also given to you, 25 meters. That's the height of this. Okay. Now how high? Let us find the first part. How high the ball will rise, students?
20.4.
U square by g. So at 20 into 20 divided by g. So what's g? So remember this formula we have derived. We have already taken g as negative. Already taken g as a negative. So always remember what are the assumptions you have taken to derive the formulas. The assumption we have taken g as negative. See the formula where we have. See the formula where we have derived. See in this formula, height maximum, time of the flight. We have already taken g as negative. So we are not going to take g as 9.8 here. We are going to take g as plus 9.8. So always remember these formulas that we have derived. We have taken the impact of g as negative, students. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So 20 into 20 divided by 9.8. Yes, what's the answer? You can take, okay, take g as 10 for simplicity. Okay.
Sir, 2 भी लगाना है साथ में.
Yes, 2g. Yes, of course that's 2g. So what's the answer? 20, 20. So that's 20 meter. So height is 20 meters, right? So that's the maximum height attained. Now tell me, the second part of the question is, how long will it be before the ball hits the ground? Time of the flight. What is the time of the flight? Yes. Yes. Good. So time of the flight is 2u by g. That is 2 into 20 into g is again 10. So that comes out to be
4 seconds.
so that was this case, right? So you again have to take one more case if you are using this formula, time of the flight. So time of the flight is best work when you are throwing from the ground. So it's not better to use time of the flight here. Got it? Because again, then you have to consider that the ball is thrown downward with 20 meter per second. And so why don't we do this question in one way? S is equals to ut plus half gt square. Now, so we have taken this formula as fresh. So let us take this u. Always start taking the directions with u. U was 20 meter per second. So this downward direction is negative. So what are which vector quantities are in downward direction? This is the displacement here. So what is S? S is downward. That is minus 25, right? Yes. And total time taken is yes. Here we get the total time taken, of course. And what's the g? G is also acceleration vector quantity, that is also minus 9.8 meter per second square. So we have written the formula in positive, so we can take G as minus 9.8. Is this clear to everyone, students? All the four quantities. So put the four quantities. Minus 25 is equals to 20 into t plus half into minus 10 t square. So what do you get? So you are going to get a quadratic equation. So that's 5. So this will become positive. So 5t square minus 20t minus 25 is equals to 0. So 5 is common here. So t square minus 4t minus 5 is equals to 0. And t plus 1 and t minus 5 is equals to 0. So t is equals to minus 1 second and t is equals to 5 seconds. So cannot be negative. So time is equal to 5 seconds. Now the third part is trajectory that we were discussing. So what's the trajectory? So trajectory will be vertical line. Trajectory means path of motion. So path of motion is a vertical line. You can prove it. Y is equals to ut plus half gt square. So in this case, you can see that y is not equals to 0. You have found the value of y. You have taken the y as this. So y is not equal to 0 here. And x is equals to 0. So it's a vertical line motion. So y is changing, but x is not changing. Okay. So that's all for today, students. Very important. You can watch this lecture again. I hope the recording is done. Yes, the recording is done. I will post it. This lecture you need to watch. Means might be after a couple of days, and then after, means whenever you do this chapter, just watch this video and write your notes. Okay. So whenever you have any confusion, you can watch this video and make the notes as we have discussed. So so I hope the things are pretty much clear regarding motion under gravity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students, thank you so much. Now, students, there won't be class of chemistry today. Okay, because not much has been covered in chemistry, so that we are able to do the questions of the JEE level. So we need to wait for a couple of days. Okay, thank you so much. For chemistry, you can. I have already sent you the videos, so might be you have seen. But Somya, you have not. If you want to see, you can just go to the channel and you can see the video of the chemistry also. That the class I have taken on Saturday, on Sunday, and I have cleared basics in that video.
Okay, sir.
Okay, students. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.